The starship Aurora drifted silently through the endless expanse of space, its sleek hull gleaming faintly under the distant light of a dying star. Captain Alara Dane sat in the bridge, her hands lightly resting on the console, eyes scanning the endless field of stars beyond the viewport. It had been a quiet mission so far, routine exploration, cataloging small uncharted systems for the United Earth Coalition. But deep down, she felt the subtle tension that always preceded discovery. Something was different about this region of space. Sensors began to pick up a faint signal, almost lost among the background noise of the cosmos. The signal was weak, irregular, and old, as if it had been drifting through the void for decades. Lieutenant Kale, the ship's young and enthusiastic engineer, frowned at the readings. "Captain, I'm not sure what this is. The signal isn't coming from any known star system. It looks artificial, but ancient." Alara leaned forward, curiosity brightening her sharp features. "Ancient, you say? Show me." Kyle adjusted the controls, isolating the signal. A thin, wavering line appeared on the display, pulsing rhythmically like a heartbeat. It was faint, distant, yet deliberate. Something, or someone, was trying to communicate. The crew exchanged cautious glances. Science Officer Rena spoke next, her voice steady, but filled with restrained excitement. "It could be a derelict vessel, Captain. Something left behind in the early days of human expansion. Or it could be alien." Ilara's eyes narrowed, a spark of determination lighting her expression. "Either way, we investigate, prepare an approach, but keep scanners on maximum. I want to know exactly what we're heading into before we make contact." The Aurora shifted its course, engines humming softly as the ship moved toward the source of the mysterious signal. Outside, the void thickened, shrouded in a pale, shifting mist that seemed almost unnatural in its density. The stars appeared dimmer through it, as though some unseen hand had softened their glow. As the ship approached, the mist began to take shape. Out of the swirling gray emerged the silhouette of an enormous vessel. Its hull was jagged and scarred, dark metal reflecting the faint light. The design was unmistakably human, yet entirely unlike any ship in known history. Its size was enormous, and its presence seemed almost alive, pressing against the Aurora as if aware of their intrusion. Kyle's voice broke the tense silence. "Captain, it's massive. And it's moving, slowly but deliberately. I don't think it's completely abandoned." Ilara's heart quickened. She had seen many ships in her career, but none like this. There was something different about it, something that called to a deep part of her instincts. "Prepare a boarding team. I want a full scan of the hull before we make contact. This ship may be old, but I don't want to underestimate it." The crew worked quickly, scanning the vessel and analyzing its structure. The readings were unusual. Some parts of the ship were corroded and broken, but other sections hummed with power, energy flowing through circuits and conduits that had long been thought obsolete. It was a paradox, a ship of the past, yet alive with technology they barely understood. As they prepared to board, the mist thickened, curling around the hull of the mysterious vessel like a living veil. The Aurora's sensors flickered, showing strange shadows moving just beyond detection. It was as if the mist itself was hiding something, watching, waiting. Captain Alara led the boarding team through the airlock, stepping onto the deck of the derelict vessel. The metal underfoot was cold and worn, but strangely strong. The air inside was stale, tinged with the scent of burnt circuits and something faintly metallic. The corridors stretched endlessly, twisting in ways that made the crew pause. It was not just a ship. It was a labyrinth, designed to challenge those who entered. Holographic displays flickered to life as they moved deeper into the vessel. Ghostly images of humans appeared, dressed in clothing and uniforms from centuries past. They moved through the ship with purpose, piloting, repairing, and sometimes laughing in moments of camaraderie. The crew realized these were recordings, echoes of lives long gone, preserved by some advanced system they did not yet understand. Cale's eyes widened as he examined the controls. This technology, it's incredible. It's human, but beyond anything we've seen. Whoever built this, they were centuries ahead of our time. Ilara nodded, her mind racing. This ship was meant to survive. Not just survive, but teach. It holds something important, and we need to understand it before anyone else does. The mist outside continued to swirl, pressing against the ship as if it were alive. Shadows moved along the walls, faint but undeniable. They were not human, and they seemed to react to the crew's presence. Science Officer Rena tightened her grip on her equipment. Captain, I think the mist, it's not natural, it's reacting to us. Something out there doesn't want us here. Ilara's jaw set with determination. Then we proceed carefully. We're not just explorers, we're humans, and humans adapt. That's how we survive. As they ventured deeper, the ship seemed to respond to them. Hallways shifted slightly. Doors opened where there were none before, and strange whispers echoed through the metal corridors. It was not frightening exactly, but disorienting. The ship seemed aware, watching, guiding, and testing them at the same time. In a large chamber at the center of the vessel, the crew found what appeared to be the ship's command hub. Consoles lined the walls, screens flickering with data that was centuries old. Ilara stepped forward, placing her hand on a central control panel. A sudden wave of information flooded the room. Star charts, maps of uncharted systems, records of human explorers and smugglers navigating dangerous regions of space. The crew realized the ship had been a repository of human history, technology, and ingenuity, preserved for a future that might need it. It was not just a ship, it was a testament to humanity itself, a living reminder that humans could endure, innovate, and overcome any challenge. But as they explored, the shadows outside began to take shape. Strange, alien forms moved through the mist, their presence unsettling and hostile. Sensors picked up energy signatures unlike anything the crew had seen. The beings were intelligent, deliberate, and they seemed to understand the value of the ship. Kyle glanced at Ilara, his face tense. Captain, they're coming closer. I don't think they'll let us take the ship without a fight. Ilara's eyes narrowed. She felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. Then we prepare. This ship holds more than technology. It holds a piece of human spirit. We will not let it fall into the wrong hands. The crew fortified their positions, analyzing the ship's systems and preparing for whatever might emerge from the mist. Yet even in the tension, there was awe. Humans walking the decks of a vessel built by humans long ago, witnessing the cleverness and daring of those who had come before. Hours passed, though time felt different inside the labyrinthine corridors. The mist outside seemed endless, pressing and swirling as if alive. Shadows shifted at the edges of sensors, but the crew learned to anticipate them, using their instincts, intelligence, and courage to navigate the strange vessel. At the heart of the ship, Ilara and her team discovered a central chamber that pulsed with energy. Strange inscriptions and symbols lined the walls, glowing faintly as if responding to their presence. It became clear that this was not merely a ship of war or transport, it was a teacher. The vessel was designed to test, to challenge, and to prepare those who could understand the depth of human potential. Ilara felt a surge of pride and determination. Humans had always reached for the stars, often against impossible odds, relying on courage, ingenuity, and teamwork. This ship, this relic of the past, was a mirror of that spirit. It whispered lessons, offered guidance, and demanded respect for the qualities that made humanity unique. Kale, examining a console, discovered a set of coordinates hidden deep within the ship's data. Captain, These lead to a hidden outpost, a human settlement, untouched and preserved. The ship wants us to find it. Alara smiled faintly. Then that will be our next step. But first, we survive the night and whatever waits in the mist. As the crew prepared for the unknown, the old pirate vessel seemed to hum softly, as if acknowledging their courage and determination. Outside, the night mist continued to swirl, thick and impenetrable, hiding dangers and wonders alike. But for the humans aboard the Aurora, there was no fear that could overwhelm their resolve. They were explorers, survivors, and inheritors of a legacy that had whispered through the night for centuries, and now they were listening. And somewhere deep in the shifting mist, the vessel waited, patient, observing, ready to reveal more secrets to those who proved worthy. The journey had only begun, and already humanity's place in the stars felt more profound than ever. The crew of the Aurora remained on high alert as the old pirate vessel hummed quietly around them, its hull seeming to breathe in the dark mist that surrounded them. The strange coordinates Cale had found promised a hidden human outpost, but the path to it was not simple. The ship itself seemed to resist them at times, doors closing without warning and corridors shifting as though testing their resolve. Yet Captain Alara Dane felt a thrill that surpassed fear, a mixture of curiosity, duty, and the quiet certainty that humans had survived far greater odds than this. Alara led her team deeper into the vessel, their boots echoing through the metal corridors. The ship's interior was a maze, but the crew had begun to notice patterns in its structure. It was not random. It had been designed with intention, a challenge for anyone who might come aboard. Occasionally, holographic images flickered into life, figures of humans long gone moving with purpose through the vessel, recording logs, repairing equipment, or interacting with others. The images were so vivid that at first, the crew had startled, thinking someone had returned. Science Officer Rena studied one of the holograms closely. "Captain, look at their work. This ship belonged to humans, but these people were explorers and engineers far beyond anything we've seen. Their technology, it's advanced in ways we can barely understand." Alara nodded, running a hand along a smooth panel that glowed faintly under her touch. "It is more than technology, Rena. This ship holds the record of human creativity, courage, and ingenuity. Every corner, every circuit, is a reminder of what we can do when we persevere." Kyle, still examining a nearby console, suddenly straightened. "Captain, I'm detecting energy readings throughout the ship. Some areas are completely dormant, but others are active, almost like the ship is alive. It's not sentient in a human sense, but it reacts to us. It's testing us." Alara's brow furrowed thoughtfully. "Testing us? Then we must respond with our best. We are humans. That's what this vessel is built to recognize. Our adaptability, our courage, our problem-solving." The crew pressed forward, their determination mixing with awe. In one chamber, they found walls lined with intricate maps of star systems and hidden trade routes, many of which had long been lost to time. The maps seemed to be organized not just by geography, but by human stories, tales of bravery, cunning, and resourcefulness in the face of danger. Each route carried notes and markers, indicating where crews had overcome impossible odds or narrowly escaped disaster. Kyle smiled, eyes wide as he absorbed the information. "Captain, it's like this ship is teaching us. These maps, they're more than navigation. They're lessons in thinking ahead, predicting outcomes, adapting to change." Ilara's gaze shifted to a nearby doorway, partially hidden behind a thick curtain of metallic wires and faintly glowing conduits. "Then let's learn. Keep your minds sharp. This ship has secrets, and I suspect it will only give them to those who prove themselves." As they moved into the next chamber, the mist outside pressed against the hull like a living entity, curling into shapes that the sensors sometimes mistook for solid objects. Shadows shifted at the edge of detection. Strange, alien figures that seemed to linger, observing, waiting. The crew grew uneasy, but they kept moving, relying on their human instincts to navigate the labyrinthine ship. Rena spoke quietly, almost to herself as she studied the environment. "Captain, the mist, it's reacting to us. These forms, whatever they aren't random. They seem intelligent. They're trying to intimidate us, maybe even scare us away." Ilara's eyes narrowed. "Then they underestimate us. Humans do not give up when faced with the unknown. We adapt, we survive, we overcome." Hours passed as they explored, encountering chambers filled with tools, parts, and technology that was both alien and human in design. Every room held a lesson. Every holographic projection offered insight into a time long gone. Yet the mist outside continued to thicken, pressing closer with an almost tangible presence. At the center of the vessel, they discovered a vast chamber filled with consoles and screens, all pulsating faintly with energy. The air was warm here, and the faint hum of machinery resonated through the floor. Kyle approached one of the consoles, his fingers hovering over the controls. "Captain, the ship's AI is active here. I think it's trying to communicate with us, but its language is unusual. Part code, part logic puzzles, part almost like a challenge." Ilara stepped closer, studying the glowing interface. "Then we solve it. We are humans. We think, we create, we adapt. That is what this ship is looking for." The AI began to present tests, simulated scenarios that challenged their problem-solving skills. They had to reroute power through damaged circuits to unlock doors, decode navigation signals to chart a safe path, and solve complex mechanical puzzles that required both logic and creativity. Each success was met with a subtle shift in the ship's environment. A corridor opening here, a light illuminating there, as though the vessel were rewarding their understanding. Kale grinned as he worked through one particularly difficult puzzle. "Captain, the AI isn't just testing us. It's observing how we think, how we respond. It wants to see our ingenuity, our teamwork." Ilara nodded. "Exactly. It's a lesson in human potential. Every choice we make, every solution we find, it's proof that humans are capable of far more than even we sometimes realize." While they focused on the puzzles, the alien forms in the mist grew more active. They moved along the edges of sensors, appearing as faint, shifting silhouettes that seemed to anticipate every move the humans made. But the crew's determination was unwavering. They relied on instinct, collaboration, and creativity, finding solutions the AI itself had not predicted. Rena's voice broke through the tense silence. "Captain, I think the AI recognizes us now. The ship is responding faster to our actions, almost like it trusts us to continue." Ilara smiled faintly. "Then we continue. Humans are never truly defeated. We adapt, we learn, and we find our way." Deeper in the vessel, they found an observation deck that overlooked the swirling mist outside. The shadows of the alien entities moved more clearly here, flickering and merging with the fog. But the humans were undeterred. The ship itself seemed to pulse with energy, almost protective, as if acknowledging their courage. Kale's fingers danced across another console, uncovering more hidden data. "Captain, these coordinates lead to a hidden human outpost. It's intact, preserved, almost like the ship anticipated we would come." Ilara's eyes shone with determination. "Then that is where we go next. This ship has taught us much already, but our journey is not over. We have to reach the outpost, understand what it holds, and protect it from anything that might threaten it." The AI, through the ship's systems, began to communicate more directly. Words formed across the holographic screens, simple but profound. "Prove your worth. Protect what is precious. Adapt, or all will be lost." Alara met the gaze of her crew, her voice steady. "We are humans. We do not give up. We adapt. We protect. We survive. That is what this ship wants to see, and that is what we will show." The crew prepared for the next stage of their journey, securing the ship's systems and mapping a course to the hidden outpost. The mist outside continued to shift, dense and mysterious. But the humans aboard the Aurora were undeterred. Their courage, intelligence, and teamwork had already earned the ship's trust, and they were ready to face whatever else awaited them in the shadows. As the night deepened and the mist swirled around the pirate vessel, the crew felt a growing connection to those who had come before. They were part of a legacy of human determination, ingenuity, and bravery. And somewhere within the ship's walls, the AI watched and waited, guiding them, testing them, preparing them for the challenges ahead. The Aurora's crew understood now that this journey was not just about exploring a forgotten vessel or discovering hidden technology. It was about proving, once again, that humanity could face the unknown with courage, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit. And as the mist continued to whisper against the old pirate vessel, the humans listened, ready to learn, ready to adapt, and ready to survive. Hours turned to days, though inside the vessel, time felt strange. The ship seemed to exist outside normal measures of time, its corridors shifting and folding, guiding them subtly toward their goal. The crew encountered more puzzles, more holographic echoes of past humans, each a lesson in patience, observation, and clever thinking. Kale laughed softly as he completed a particularly tricky sequence, unlocking a hidden passage. "Captain, this ship was made for humans like us. It's teaching, yes, but also encouraging. It's like it believes in us, even more than we believe in ourselves." Ilara's expression softened. That is the essence of humanity. We explore, we create, we survive, and when we are guided wisely, we rise to challenges we might never have imagined. As they prepared to move into the newly revealed passage, the mist outside grew restless, swirling faster, shadows moving more clearly. The alien entities were watching, aware of the humans' progress, but the crew no longer felt fear. They had proven their resilience, intelligence, and teamwork. The ship's AI pulsed softly in acknowledgement, a rhythm that felt almost like a heartbeat. It had tested them, guided them, and now it seemed to prepare them for the next step, the journey to the hidden outpost, a place where humanity's legacy waited to be discovered and protected. Ilara took a deep breath, looking at her crew. "We have come this far, together. We have faced puzzles, shadows, and the unknown. Now we take the next step. The outpost awaits, and so does the next challenge. But we are humans. We adapt. We survive. We prevail." The Aurora's crew moved forward into the heart of the vessel, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The pirate ship hummed around them, alive with energy, its lessons etched into every panel, every corridor, every shadow. Outside, the night mist twisted and churned, hiding dangers and wonders alike. But inside, the humans pressed on, guided by courage, intelligence, and an unyielding will. And somewhere in the swirling mist, the old pirate vessel whispered, softly, patiently, carrying the echoes of human ingenuity and daring through the darkness, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. The deeper the crew of the Aurora ventured into the pirate vessel, the more alive the ship seemed to become. Corridors that once twisted confusingly now opened with purpose, leading them toward chambers filled with strange technology and glowing panels that pulsed softly like the rhythm of a heartbeat. Captain Ilara Dane felt a thrill she had not experienced in years. This vessel was more than a relic of the past. It was a teacher, a test, and perhaps a guardian of humanity's legacy. As they moved forward, Kale noticed subtle changes in the ship's energy patterns. Captain, the AI is initiating a new sequence. It's like a simulation or a test. It's creating scenarios for us to solve. Ilara's gaze sharpened. A test, then. We must be ready for anything. The first scenario unfolded in a large chamber where holographic projections appeared on every wall. Alien creatures, shadowy and unfamiliar, moved in patterns around the room. The AI challenged the crew to navigate safely through the projections without triggering alarms. The projections were quick, unpredictable, and intelligent. Lieutenant Mira, the ship's security officer, moved first, carefully watching the patterns. "These aren't random," she said. "They're learning as we move. We have to predict their behavior, think ahead, and work together." Kyle grinned, his fingers dancing across a console to adjust their path. "Then we use what humans do best, adapt. Observe, plan, and adjust. The AI wants to see how clever we can be." Together, the crew moved through the projections with precision, their teamwork and quick thinking allowing them to avoid contact. When they reached the other side, the ship itself seemed to acknowledge their success. Panels glowed brighter, and doors that had remained locked now opened to reveal new chambers. Ilara turned to her team. "This is exactly what this vessel wants to teach us. It tests our minds, our judgment, and our ability to work as a team. That is what makes humans special. We do not just survive, we innovate, adapt, and overcome." The next test was more complex. The AI presented a scenario in which the crew had to redirect energy through damaged circuits to stabilize the ship's power systems. Sparks flew from broken panels, and the room shook as the energy fluctuated. Kale and Rena worked feverishly to reroute the power, improvising when the systems resisted standard procedures. "Captain, these circuits aren't just damaged," Kale explained, sweat beading his forehead. "They were designed to test how we think. There's no single solution. The AI wants to see our creativity." Ilara nodded. "Then let's show it what humans can do." Working together, the team rerouted power, combining logic, intuition, and improvisation. The systems hummed steadily, and the room filled with a warm, steady glow. The AI's approval was subtle, but unmistakable. The ship pulsed with energy as if it had acknowledged their success. As they paused to catch their breath, Kyle noticed something on his console. "Captain, the mist outside is shifting again. The alien shadows are moving closer. I think they're aware of our progress. They're not random. They're intelligent, and they're watching." Ilara's jaw set. "Then they underestimate us. Humans have faced impossible odds before. This crew will not be intimidated by shadows." The alien entities began to probe more aggressively. Sensors detected shapes moving through the mist, scanning the hull for weaknesses. The Aurora crew realized that their journey would not be limited to tests set by the ship alone. They would have to face a real threat. Rena adjusted the ship's internal defenses, creating barriers and monitoring the mist. "Captain, they're approaching quickly. If they find a way inside, we could be trapped. We need to act." Ilara took a deep breath. "We act with courage and strategy. Humans are resourceful. We will not give in." The AI presented its final challenge before the crew could access the hidden outpost coordinates fully. It simulated a catastrophic failure in the ship's systems. The crew had to stabilize life support, reroute power, and repair critical systems, all under pressure and with limited information. Kale's hands moved rapidly over the console. "Captain, this is more than a simulation. The AI is testing our composure under real stress. It wants to see how we think when stakes are high." Ilara's eyes gleamed. "Then we rise to the challenge. We are humans. We adapt. We endure. We prevail." The crew divided tasks efficiently. Mira coordinated emergency protocols, Rena analyzed energy flows, and Kale improvised repairs using the ship's own tools. Sparks flew, panels flickered, and alarms rang, but the humans remained focused. Their teamwork and ingenuity allowed them to stabilize the systems just as the simulation reached its peak. The AI paused, as if acknowledging their victory. Then the walls of the chamber shifted, revealing a corridor that led deeper into the heart of the pirate vessel. The glow of panels and the hum of energy guided them forward, like a path illuminated by the ship itself. Outside, the mist churned violently, and the alien shapes began to coalesce. They were no longer distant observers. They were approaching, intent on the vessel and its human intruders. The crew braced themselves, understanding that the final challenge would not be a puzzle or simulation, but a confrontation. Ilara gathered her team in the control chamber. "This is it. The ship has tested us, and we have proven ourselves. Now, we face what waits in the mist. Remember what makes us human: our courage, our intelligence, and our ability to work together. We will not fail." Kyle nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "We've come this far. Nothing can stop us now." The alien forms surged closer, revealing their true shape. Shadowy, amorphous entities that seemed to shift and flow, their energy disrupting sensors and obscuring the mist. Yet the humans did not falter. Using the knowledge they had gained from the ship, they devised a strategy. Ilara commanded the ship's systems to create illusions and false readings in the corridors. The shadows, intelligent but unfamiliar with human ingenuity, were drawn into traps, misled by the clever use of lights, energy pulses, and sound. Kyle rigged the ship to use its own hull vibrations as a tool, creating patterns that confused and delayed the alien entities. Mira coordinated defensive measures, using the ship's systems to create protective barriers around the crew and vital consoles. Rena monitored energy flows, ensuring that the ship remained stable despite the constant pressure from outside. Every crew member contributed, every skill was tested, and every action was precise. The alien entities hesitated, frustrated by the humans' strategy and ingenuity. The ship itself seemed to assist, subtly shifting corridors, opening and closing doors, and guiding the crew's actions. It became clear that the vessel was not only a teacher but an ally, recognizing those who could prove their worth. After tense hours of maneuvering, the aliens were forced back into the swirling mist, unable to breach the ship's defenses or outthink the humans. The Aurora crew exhaled collectively, their relief tempered by the realization that the vessel still held secrets to be uncovered. Kale wiped sweat from his brow and smiled. "Captain, we did it. We outsmarted them. This ship, it's incredible. It taught us, tested us, and now, it helped us survive." Ilara nodded, her expression a mixture of pride and determination. "Yes, Kale. But we cannot stop here. The hidden outpost awaits. This is only part of the journey. The legacy of humanity preserved in this vessel is still out there, and it is our responsibility to protect it." As they moved deeper into the vessel, the AI's presence became clearer. Words appeared across holographic screens, simple yet profound. Courage, ingenuity, adaptation, humanity prevails. The crew felt a sense of connection, not only to the ship, but to the humans who had built it centuries ago. They understood that this vessel was a testament to what humans could achieve: survival, creativity, and the ability to overcome impossible odds. Rena looked around at her teammates. "Captain, this ship, it's more than history. It's a reminder of who we are. Humans are special because we think, we create, we endure. This vessel is proof." Ilara placed a hand on the central console, feeling the faint pulse of energy. "Exactly, Rena. And now it is our turn to continue the legacy. We have faced tests, alien threats, and impossible puzzles. We have adapted, survived, and prevailed. That is what makes us human." The corridor ahead shimmered, revealing a large observation chamber overlooking the swirling mist outside. The alien forms were retreating, but their presence remained a reminder that the universe was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable. Yet the humans aboard the Aurora no longer felt fear. They had proven themselves to the ship, to themselves, and to the unknown forces watching from the shadows. Kale turned to Alara, excitement in his voice. "Captain, the coordinates to the hidden outpost are now fully accessible. We can navigate there with confidence. The ship trusts us." Ilara's eyes shone with determination. "Then we move forward. The journey is not over. The hidden outpost is our next challenge, and we will face it together. We are humans, and we adapt. We survive. We prevail." The crew gathered their equipment, secured the ship's systems, and prepared to move toward the outpost. The vessel hummed around them, its energy flowing steadily, guiding them through the final chambers of its labyrinthine interior. The lessons they had learned, courage, ingenuity, teamwork, would carry them forward, not just in this ship, but in all the challenges yet to come. As the Aurora and its crew advanced, the mist outside seemed to part slightly, revealing distant stars and a path forward. The alien entities lingered at the edges of detection, watching and waiting, but the humans pressed on with unyielding determination. Ilara took a deep breath, looking at her crew. "This is what it means to be human. We face the unknown, we learn, we adapt, and we overcome. The hidden outpost is our next goal, but the real lesson is here. In every choice we make, every challenge we meet, humans are capable of anything." With that, the crew stepped into the final passage that would lead them toward the hidden outpost, the ship guiding them with subtle shifts in the corridors and glowing panels that pulsed in rhythm with their determination. The mist swirled outside, hiding dangers and mysteries alike, but the humans aboard the Aurora were ready. They had proven themselves, survived, and adapted, and somewhere deep within the old pirate vessel, the AI pulsed softly, a steady heartbeat in the dark, whispering approval, waiting for the next stage of humanity's journey to unfold. The Aurora glided silently through the swirling mist as Captain Alara Dane led her crew toward the coordinates that Kale had uncovered. The hidden outpost was just beyond the thick, silver-gray fog, a place untouched by time and preserved by the ship's ancient AI. Yet the journey had never felt more tense. The alien entities that had lingered in the mist were growing bolder, their energy signatures flaring intermittently across the sensors. It was clear they would not let the humans reach the outpost without a struggle. Ilara gathered her crew in the central corridor. "This is it. We've come through tests, simulations, and threats from the mist. Now we face the final challenge. Remember, we are humans. We think, we adapt, we survive, and we prevail. Together, we can handle anything." Kyle adjusted the console, tracing the path toward the outpost. "Captain, the path is narrow. The alien shadows are concentrated here. They've blocked every obvious route. We'll need to use the ship itself, its systems, its corridors, even the mist, to outsmart them." Rena studied the energy flows, analyzing patterns in the alien movements. "They're intelligent, but predictable to some extent. If we set traps and use the ship's abilities wisely, we can guide them away from us and secure a safe path." Mira's hand hovered over the control panel. "Captain, I can coordinate the ship's defenses. We can create illusions, energy pulses, and barriers to mislead them while we move forward. But we need precision and timing." Ilara nodded. "Then that's what we'll do. Kyle, Rena, Mira, coordinate with me. Every move must be deliberate. This is about human ingenuity, not brute force. The ship is on our side, and together we can turn the mist into an advantage." The crew moved into position. The Aurora's ancient hull seemed to pulse softly as if responding to their strategy, corridors shifting subtly to create pathways and traps. The alien entities advanced cautiously, drawn to the humans, but hesitant to enter areas where energy signatures were unpredictable. Kale triggered a series of holographic decoys, projecting images of the crew in multiple corridors. The shadows reacted immediately, rushing toward the illusions, only to find themselves trapped or misdirected. Energy pulses from the ship's systems flickered through the walls, creating vibrations that further confused the intruders. Mira coordinated defensive measures, activating barriers that blocked key corridors and guided the aliens into loops within the mist. Rena monitored energy levels and adjusted the ship's subtle environmental shifts, ensuring the humans remained hidden and safe. Every member of the crew moved with precision, their combined intelligence and quick thinking allowing them to control the situation. Ilara led the team, moving swiftly and calmly through the labyrinthine corridors, trusting both the ship and her crew. "Stay focused," she reminded them. "Every step, every decision counts. Use what we've learned. Remember, humans are clever. We adapt. We survive." The alien entities became increasingly aggressive, sensing that their prey was clever and resourceful. They moved faster, their shapes flickering and distorting in the mist. Yet the humans remained composed, using every advantage the ship provided. The vessel's corridors shifted subtly, opening new paths and creating hidden vantage points. Panels glowed to indicate safe routes, and faint pulses of energy misled the aliens into traps. Kyle worked frantically at the central console, manipulating the ship's systems to create temporary diversions. "Captain, the AI is assisting more directly now. It recognizes our skill. Every adjustment we make amplifies the traps. The aliens won't know what hit them." Ilara's eyes gleamed. "Good. Keep it steady. This is a combination of human ingenuity and the ship's guidance. Together, we are unstoppable." After tense minutes that felt like hours, the aliens began to hesitate. Their attacks became less coordinated, their movements slower, as the humans' strategy frustrated them. The ship's AI pulsed with energy, almost like encouragement, shifting corridors and creating openings for the Aurora's crew to move forward. Finally, the team reached a large chamber at the heart of the pirate vessel. Through a massive viewport, the hidden outpost was visible, a small cluster of structures illuminated faintly against the swirling mist. It was untouched, preserved as if waiting for them for centuries. Kyle let out a quiet laugh of relief. "Captain, we made it. The outpost is right there. And we did it without a scratch." Ilara allowed herself a small smile, but her eyes remained sharp. "Not yet. We still have to secure it. The aliens are still out there, and we cannot underestimate them. Prepare the ship and move carefully." The crew worked efficiently, using the vessel's AI to guide them. Energy shields were raised, defensive pulses prepared, and subtle manipulations of the corridors ensured that if the aliens followed, they would encounter obstacles at every turn. As the Aurora and its crew approached the outpost, the alien entities surged forward, sensing their final opportunity. But the humans were ready. Holographic decoys, energy pulses, and shifting corridors funneled the aliens into traps, disorienting and scattering them. One by one, they retreated into the mist, unable to anticipate the humans' clever maneuvers. Ilara and her crew landed the pirate vessel near the outpost. The mist still swirled, but the immediate threat had been neutralized. The outpost stood silent and intact, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. Kale accessed the outpost's systems, marveling at their advanced design. "Captain, this outpost. It's incredible. It's stocked with resources, technology, and records of human exploration. Whoever built this knew humans would one day find it and continue the legacy." Ilara walked through the outpost, touching the smooth walls and observing the preserved technology. "This is more than a discovery. This is a responsibility. The knowledge here, the lessons from the ship, The legacy of humans who came before. They are counting on us to protect it." Rena studied the data logs, her eyes wide with awe. "Captain, these records include not just exploration data, but instructions for surviving extreme conditions, strategies for innovation, and histories of human bravery. It's as if they knew we would need guidance." Mira smiled. "And we've proven ourselves worthy. The ship guided us here, tested us, and now it has entrusted us with this outpost. Humans are capable of anything when we work together." Ilara looked at her crew, pride shining in her eyes. "Exactly. We faced the unknown, adapted, and succeeded. We are humans. We survive, we create, we protect, and we will continue to do so." The AI pulsed through the vessel, a steady, rhythmic energy that felt almost like a heartbeat. It had guided them, tested them, and now it rested, acknowledging the crew's achievements. Its purpose was fulfilled, for now. Kyle accessed the remaining systems of the outpost. "Captain, the AI has left us access to everything. Supplies, technology, data, all of it. It's ours to protect and use responsibly." Ilara nodded, her gaze drifting to the swirling mist beyond the viewport. "We will honor it, this knowledge, these tools. They are for humanity, for our future, for exploration and growth. We will not fail." As the crew settled into the outpost, the mist began to recede, revealing distant stars and the familiar patterns of the galaxy. The alien entities had vanished, driven back by clever strategy and human ingenuity. The Aurora and its crew stood victorious, their bond stronger, their confidence reinforced, and their sense of purpose renewed. Kyle looked out at the stars. "Captain, the universe is vast. There will be more challenges, more unknowns, but now we know what humans are capable of. We've faced a ship older than memory, shadowy threats in the mist, and complex tests designed to challenge every part of us. And we succeeded." Ilara placed a hand on the railing, looking at her crew. "That is the lesson of the ship and the outpost. Humans are special because we think, we adapt, and we persevere. We honor the past by using what we've learned to shape the future, and together, nothing can stop us." The crew spent the next hours exploring the outpost, documenting the ship's systems, and understanding the resources and technology preserved for them. Every discovery reinforced the lesson they had learned. Human ingenuity, courage, and collaboration could overcome even the most daunting challenges. Night passed, though inside the outpost, time seemed to move differently. The crew took shifts to monitor the surrounding mist, ensuring no further threats emerged. Outside, the stars gleamed with a clarity that had been hidden by the swirling fog, reminding them of the vastness of space and the endless possibilities it held. Kyle sat at a console, reviewing logs of the ship's AI. "Captain, the AI, it wasn't just testing us. It was teaching us, guiding us, preparing us for challenges we don't yet understand. And we succeeded because we used our human abilities, thinking, adapting, and working together." Ilara joined him, her gaze steady. "Exactly, Kale. That is what makes us special. Every challenge we face, every unknown we encounter, we can overcome if we trust ourselves and each other. This ship, this outpost, they've reminded us of what we are capable of." As the first light of distant stars reflected through the outpost's viewport, Ilara addressed her crew. "We have completed one journey, but our mission continues. The knowledge, resources, and lessons here are ours to protect and use wisely. Humanity's legacy is in our hands, and as long as we remain curious, brave, and united, there is nothing we cannot achieve." The crew nodded, a sense of pride and purpose filling the chamber. They had faced the unknown, navigated the challenges of the pirate vessel, outsmarted alien threats, and secured a treasure far greater than any material wealth: the legacy of human ingenuity and courage. The old pirate vessel rested quietly in the mist, its task complete. It had tested, guided, and prepared the humans for the challenges ahead. And somewhere in the silent depths of space, it whispered faintly, a reminder that human determination, intelligence, and spirit were forces that no threat could ever truly overcome. Elara looked out at the stars one last time before turning to her crew. Humans have always reached for the stars. We will continue to do so with courage and wisdom. This is our legacy, and it is stronger than ever. As the Aurora prepared to leave the outpost in safe orbit, the crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and challenges, but they were ready. They had faced tests, adapted, and survived. They had proven that humanity's spirit was unbreakable, and as the mist began to fade, revealing the path forward, the pirate vessel whispered softly one final time through the void, carrying with it the echoes of human ingenuity and daring, and leaving the crew of the Aurora ready to continue humanity's journey among the stars.